ask a question here? It's sort of a general question for everybody, so I might get everybody to chip in on this one. So there's two or three here together, right? One is, do I continue to check my child's homework in secondary as I have in primary? So park that for a minute, okay? Then there's one down here around, should I set a desk in my child's bedroom be set up for homework instead of the kitchen table? Concerned he'll be dossing up there without any supervision. And then, so that's two, the sort of homework oriented. And then another one around homework load kind of a thing. My child is worrying about how he's going to do such a long day at school and then come home and do more homework and then fit in sports in the evening. So there's three, but they're kind of overlapping a little bit. Any thoughts on any of that? I'm going to say yes, keep checking.
Yeah, you have to monitor, and again, you have to adjust. This is a marathon. It's a 6-year marathon or 5-year marathon. So it's all about adjustment. You do the homework very differently than primary school, but you're now looking after an adolescent and you're parenting differently. So monitor, support, change it, rechange it, and expect this to be ongoing for a long period of time. If you know your adolescent has difficulty concentrating, they may do well in their bedroom if there's too much noise downstairs. They may do part of their homework, upstairs. Again, you have to monitor that. The prediction is they're dossing, that's a prediction, is it? So mind that and go, what can I help you with? Maybe they'll benefit from a cup of tea and a biscuit. And maybe that's too tiring for you. So you're like, no, down there where I can keep an eye on you. And your support, think of it as support.
Yeah. My son is leaving cert. He's doing the leaving cert right now. And this year I set up a desk in the sitting room for him to study all year. And it worked really well because I said, I have to get him out of the bedroom. So every child is different. The main thing I think is, and we talked a lot about phones, that they do not have their phone with them while they're doing their homework. And they'll say, but I need my phone to check this and to check that. No, you're not having your phone. If you need your phone, you come back down to me and you can check your phone. Do not have the phone when you're trying to do the homework. And then the other thing is, but I have to listen to music while I'm studying. I don't know how they do it, but they seem to be able to have the earphones in and they're listening to music and they're doing their homework. But
now, speaking of homework, just on the topic there, homework load is a concern because obviously more subjects and what have you. But there's techniques and tricks and ways to manage that as well and prioritize and sequence. Don't be doing your Irish homework. It's not needed until next Monday and so on. Any thoughts
follow
on
the timetable? Yes, I would say follow the timetable. Look at the timetable and say, well, what have you tomorrow? We'll prioritize that. And then, if we've time, then the next day we might get a head start on that day. But not to think, you have to do all your homework every night. And if your child is struggling with homework, tell the school. Do not let them do an exorbitant amount of homework. It is counterproductive. So to say, well, okay, we're going to spend 20 minutes on this subject and we'll see where we are at the end of that. And if it's a case that you have to sign a note to the teacher and say, I'm sorry, but this was all they were able to do. But at least they've attempted it. At least they've tried.
About an hour a day in the chat there. Does that sound about right to you, Niamh?
I would say probably, at the start, about an hour. Really, it depends on the child. Some people, like I had a daughter who struggled, which has severe dyslexia, struggled all the way through secondary school, and homework was a torture. My son then flew through homework. So everybody is different. But I don't think any child should have to spend more than an hour and a half in first year doing homework. And I also think that all of these extracurricular things like sports and drama and all of these things are equally as important. So, not to give them up. Sometimes you hear parents say, no, we have to give this up because of the studies. We're talking about a holistic education, not just academic.
Yeah. And I think it's a good idea to, rather than look at what have we to do tonight and what have we to do tomorrow, to look at the entire week. And I'd even start the week by saying, where are the nice things in the week? There might be a match on Wednesday night that somebody would love to watch on telly. So how can I protect that those few hours so I can watch that match in comfort? Do extra homework on a Tuesday night or whatever. Also, chatting to them about you know, their time. If it takes an hour and a half to do the homework, first year and second year students will tell me that it'll add 45 minutes to an hour more to their homework if they have their phones. But talking about, you know, could you do your French homework and then come out and have a break for a minute? Or, you know, could you get 2 subjects out of the way and then maybe take 10 minutes to go outside and kick ball or play with the dog or go for a walk? You know, we all study differently. You know, I wouldn't be somebody who could have sat for 2 hours straight and studied. I mean, I'd have just lost the will to live. Whereas I have one child who could do it for the whole night. I'm not sure whose child she is, but she certainly wasn't mine. But there are, you know, different strokes for different folks. So figuring out which one your child is, but maybe involving them in it. Homework is effective life. It's like income tax. Or as one first year said to me once, they even give you homework on your birthday. And he said it in such a morose voice, God love him. But again, it is involving them and saying, look, you have to do this homework. So what's the best way to do it? If you made a start here, then you could watch that on television. Then you could go back and finish it. Or don't forget your training here. Or, you know, we want to go to Granny's house there. Or, you know, things like that. Just including them so they're part of the solution. I think
And you're mindful of yourself too. If homework is a big trigger for you, like I am 5th class maths, that is my level. So I got support for my daughter with maths because we found out very quickly there was going to be a war and the psychotherapist was not in the building. So it's finding maybe, you know, dad, uncle, granddad, whoever is good at maths, and you're sitting there having the cup of tea, regulating. And we have to be mindful of that because homework brings up so many triggers for parents. It really does. And we have to know our limitations as well as our strengths, and we're teaching that and showing that.